SBJ, Sports Business Journal, today just released their prediction for media rights going into 2023. And one of those predictions from SBJ was that Amazon would almost get the entire media package of the Pac-12. My goodness, what a decision. Colorado and Arizona and possibly a couple other schools in the Pac-12 have to make. With that prediction from SBJ, Sports Business Journal, the best there is at figuring out what the next media packages are going to be. Sports Business Journal's making this prediction. And we're going to be given our lock, our third lock of the weekend. It's got to be Fresno State. My goodness, that line has jumped from +2.5 to -5. It could go to -6 before that 3:30 Eastern kickoff on the LA Bowl. Welcome to episode 118 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please consider subscribing to our ever-growing channel. Smash that like button if you like our content. Share this video with your family and friends. Let's not waste any time. Let's get to Fresno State first, and let's get to that big breaking news, big prediction from Sports Business Journal. It just came out minutes ago. But let's get to Fresno State. -5, it's a lock. Just look at the opt-outs that are in this game. Washington State, missing their three key receivers, Tribling, Ali, Bell, from transfer portal, and Bell with an injury. Offensive tackle, Jack Wilson, he left the team. They're missing their three linebackers. The top linebacker, all Pac-12 linebacker, opted out, Henley. They got a cornerback that's out. And the only person that is opting out of the Fresno State is a defensive back. Fresno State is in this game to win. Their quarterback, Jack Hagner, you know about him. 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, almost a 160 quarterback rating. Cropper, their great receiver. Mims, their great running back. They're all playing today. All of them are playing today for Fresno State. This is the reason why the line jumped from +2.5. That was the early line. When this game was first set, first official, it was +2.5 Fresno State. It leaped to -4 of last night. It's gone to -5 today. Before kickoff, it might be -6, -6.5. We don't care, Peek Around the Corner. We don't care. We don't care that the late money is being dumped on Fresno State because there's a big reason for it. One team has come to play to win. The other team is losing all of their top players. The lock, the third lock of the week. Remember in the previous episode, we've got UConn +10 in their bowl game versus Marshall. We got Oregon State -10 versus Florida in their game this Saturday. The UConn game's Monday. This is the third lock of the weekend here. Peek Around the Corner. Fresno State -5. Now, let's get to the big story that just broke. Please leave your comments down in the comment section below the video. I read them all. In this game, about the news that we're just going to give you right now. SBJ, Sports Business Journal, top of the line. You can't get any more credibility than that. John Oran, you know him. We love him at Peek Around the Corner. You can go read the article. We're going to put the description, the link in the description box below the video for the whole article. A lot of good information, but here it is. Their prediction: Amazon gets Pac-12 rights. SBJ prediction: ESPN will be prepared to split the Pac-12's media rights with Amazon, but will not offer the conference significantly more than it pays for the Big 12. That will lead the Pac-12 to sell almost its entire media package to Amazon for a price that is slightly higher than what the Big 12 gets from ESPN and Fox. The Pac-12 will carve out a handful of primetime football games that then will sell to CBS. This is the prediction of SBJ, and their predictions, man, you got to pay attention to them because people are leaking great information to them. They've got contacts. I'm going to read this once again, then I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. Amazon gets Pac-12 rights. ESPN will prepare to split the Pac-12 media rights with Amazon. It's not going to be a 50-50 split. It sounds like ESPN will just get barely any Pac-12 content. Back to the article, but will not offer the conference significantly more than it pays for the Big 12. In other words, ESPN is not going to give Pac-12 a boost over what they gave Big 12, which is $31.6 million a year, plus a pro rata clause in that contract. Back to the article, that will lead the Pac-12 to sell almost its entire media package to Amazon, a streaming service, Amazon, for a price that is slightly higher, just slightly higher than what the Big 12 gets from ESPN and Fox. The Pac-12 will carve out a handful of those primetime football games it will sell to CBS. Now, those primetime games to CBS, they're probably not going to be Tier 1 games. They're probably not going to be the best games of the week of the Pac-12 because those games are going to be with Amazon. Amazon is not going to get into this deal unless they get the best games from what's left of the Pac-12. Now, these are my thoughts on this. This is huge news because Pac-12 isn't going to get much more than the Big 12. Not going to get much more than that $31.6 million per school in this deal. You might say, Greg, well, at least they're getting more, but it's not going to be as valuable because of the exposure, the lack of exposure in this deal. Maybe years down the line, Amazon, they're on the come. Maybe they will grant these student athletes the best exposure in the country, but not now. People are not used to watching Amazon. We starting to watch it on Thursday night for the NFL package, NFL games. Those ratings are lower than previous years. We know that the Pac-12 schools are very wary of this deal because they're not going to give their student athletes that exposure, that recruitment exposure. Remember, Big Ten denied Amazon rights to their own Big Ten package, even though Amazon offered way more than CBS and NBC because Big Ten wants that exposure that Fox, CBS, NBC gives to the conference, gives to college football. So here we are, the Pac-12, George Kliavkoff. Finally, that UCLA that situation has come to its conclusion. Now George Kliavkoff has got to get something in front of the Pac-12 presidents. And it looks like it's going to be largely an Amazon deal. Amazon's going to get most of the rights. Just for the Pac-12 to slightly be able to offer more than $31.6 million per their schools, Pac-12 schools. But in return, the exposure is going to be a lot less for those schools. Less people are going to be watching Pac-12 football in the next few years as they did previous. And in the previous years, there wasn't many eyeballs and many of the Pac-12 games. Much of the Pac-12 country doesn't watch Pac-12 football like it is in the Big Ten, the SEC, and even the Big 12. So, Colorado, now they know what's in front of them. Arizona, now they know what's in front of them. If this SBJ prediction comes true, and I would put money on SBJ every day of the week, if this prediction comes true and Amazon gets most of the rights just so Pac-12 can get a few $1 million more to each school, what does Colorado do? Does Deion Sanders, right? The high-profile new head coach of football. Colorado wants their football games, most of their football games being played on Amazon. Doesn't matter if they have Deion Sanders. Those games, they're going to get buried in the exposure war, at least for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And what about Arizona? They have a decision to make now. Yeah, they can make a few more $1 million, possibly, to stay in the Pac-12, to keep with their brethren, their Pac-12 universities, or they can go to the best basketball conference in the country, the Big 12, with a maximum exposure in their basketball and football programs. Some of these four corner schools have a decision to make. Now that we know what SBJ's prediction is about media rights going into 2023. That will lead, right? That will lead the Pac-12 to sell almost its entire media package to Amazon for a price that is only slightly higher than the Big 12 gets. Wow. Not good news for the Pac-12. Not good news versus what the Big 12 just was able to obtain. Put down your thoughts and comments in the comments section below the video. I read them all. Let me know what you agree with SBJ on, what you don't agree, what you agree with me on. Just let it all out in the comments section. Until next time, from all of us at Peek Around the Corner, to all of you, please, you all take care of each other. Thank you so very much.